Good afternoon, distinguished guests, ladies and gentlemen. We now proceed to the panel discussion. My name is Danielle Chen, and I will be your moderator for the first panel discussion, the AI and Technology Innovation session. Our session has about 35 minutes. We have 3 inspiring panelists to join us. I will call each panelist and do a quick intro before inviting them on the stage. First, we have Alexander Cui. He's the co-founder, CTO, and head of R&D at GPTZero. Now let me do a quick intro. GPTZero is a trusted artificial intelligence detection software designed to identify artificially generated text, such as that produced by large language modules like ChatGPT, GPT-4, and Gemini 1. Up to May 2024, the company has raised a total of $13 million in venture capital. Among the investors of GPTZero include the CEO of CNN, ex-CEO of BBC, and Altman Capital. Please join me in welcoming Alex Cui on the stage. Next, we have Mr. Tim Zhang, founder and managing partner at Dowill Holding Co. Limited. Dowill Holding is an early-stage investor focusing on deep tech and healthcare in Canada. Company is uniquely positioned to leverage expertise and networks from both the US and China to benefit Canadian startup companies. Please join me in welcoming Mr. Tim Zhang on the stage. Last but not least, we have Mr. Liu Yuhai. He's the founder and CEO of Next AI. Mr. Liu is a visionary founder and CEO of Next Inc., a cutting-edge technology company dedicated in making everyday life and business easier with AI. So with a robust background in technology and leadership, he brings in a wealth of experience and expertise to the forefront of the AI revolution, helping small and medium-sized businesses maximize their profitability and thrive in the digital age for digital transformation. Please welcome Mr. Liu on the stage. Please. Welcome, everybody. That was a very inspiring keynote speaker by Professor Zhang. And I remember in one of his books called Strategy Niche, and he says something like this: in the future, because users are becoming more individualistic, everyone has a myriad of niche needs waiting to be met. So seizing this opportunity, and niche markets also have the capability to swallow the big market, right? So AI and technology innovation is like a big swimming pool, and all of you are kind of swimming in it, right? So first, I'd like to ask my first question to Alex Cui, the co-founder of GPTZero. And this is about leveraging investment and expertise. So we all know, GPTZero is has secured a significant Series A funding and counts investors who also backed leading technology companies like Facebook and Uber. So how does GPTZero leverage this investment and expertise of these high-profile backers to drive innovation and deliver unique value in the marketplace? Please.
Yeah, that's a great question, Danielle. And maybe I'll start by telling a little story about how we got to this place. And we started about 1.5 years ago. Myself and a friend, we just decided to launch some software on social media, see if people wanted to have this problem solved of AI detection. Turns out a lot of people did, and we actually went really viral all over Twitter, then into the news, and then we had about 20,000 weekly active users using our service for free. At that point, investors started getting quite interested. We started getting people reaching out to us, and we ended up raising a seed round just like 3 months into the product with a couple great investors that I actually met a few years ago. Fast forward about a year, we had actually now profitable. We increased our users by 50 times, and we were in a position to raise a Series A. And we were looking for the right type of venture capital. And so for us, a lot of the value that these investors provide is through a few means, right? So of course, they're not going to make or break your company. But for us, we always prefer to go for smart money, people who have backed companies that have gone down a similar path to us. Some of our investors were early investors in Canva, which is now a multi-billion-dollar company in the self-serve software world, in addition to DocSend, which exited for $150 million, doing a similar business model to us. And so our VCs were able to bring those people in as advisors, and those people are now kind of the specialists who have given us really good advice about how to focus their product development, how to focus our go-to-market. And so I would say from looking at the investor standpoint, we're not really looking for investors who have necessarily done exactly what we have, but they've backed similar companies and have that great network that we wouldn't be able to reach into otherwise.
Thank you. That's absolutely a great resource to have. Would you say that you have no competitors right now?
I mean, we definitely have competitors. Any good idea is good market is going to get competitors. But we just continue to deliver what we think is going to be the best.
Thank you, Alex. So now to Tim. So I know that you're an early stage investor focusing on deep tech and healthcare. I think you have a lot common experience share with Alex, right, in terms of the early stage investor. So what criteria do you use to identify and evaluate unique investment opportunities in these niche markets, particularly within the Canadian startup companies?
Thank you for the question. I come back from a founder's shoes. I used to be a co-founder for a VR company in Vancouver. So I kind of see the journey of how Canadian startups can be. It's very tough compared to the US. I mean, Silicon Valley, you get a external investment, but in Canada, it's just really capital lacking, right? I think there are two types of companies here in Canada that are very special and unique. First is very innovational. It's like something that Silicon Valley won't do. Like VC don't invest. It takes 20 years, 30 years to be commercializable. And those companies, I highly recommend them to get government grants and shreds, all those things. So I call it survivability. So that's my word for it. And in our firm, we are able to identify those kind of tipping points for those companies and see, okay, because we have intensive talk with the industry leaders in multiple industries. So like they are way on top of the innovative technologies, their adoptions. The when will that be adopted? What it's able to be cost efficient for them to adopt. So that's one of the one type of companies here in Canada. And the other type is really similar to what Alex does. It's like revenue stream companies. They really focus on driving the revenue force. And that's like, for example, there's a public company called Constellation Software. They kind of acquire 200 companies just doing small businesses, niche businesses, just acquire them. So those companies are really small software companies that drive the revenue stream. And they are like now very high multiples in terms of valuation, but they are very healthy businesses. So that's why I see Canadian startups that we are really interested in. But as a VC, we definitely emphasize on scalability. So that's my second word. Like, are able to become a 1 billion or 10 billion companies in the future. I mean, that's the problem that Canadian startups mostly have. But because we have the leverage in US and China, so we're able to identify those criteria. So I recommend them to open them up to US and Chinese markets to be able to be scalable, right? I mean, those are really good companies, just have to scale, yeah.
Okay, great. Thank you. It's like you build your portfolio, but it's more diverse portfolio,
Yes.
right? And then you have a lot of freedom to pick and choose that kind of, right? So speaking of the startup companies, right? I want to turn it to Mr. Liu. I know you're from a very different background, right? Not really a start company in your career life right now. So now before founding your Next Inc., right? You held VP positions at both HP and Oracle China, where you played pivotal roles in driving innovation and strategic growth. So given your extensive experience with these big giant companies, and now the SME through the Next Inc., a true startup company, and now you have the investor, you have someone already done the work, right? So what strategies do you find most effective in identifying the unique needs of the niche market?
Okay, thank you, everybody. Thank you for your question. So the first thing, I think no matter it's a big company and a small business company, we call it SMB, they have the same issue. We should understand the customer first, understand what they want. For example, when I was in China, one of my biggest customer is PetroChina. We built, I see it's 30,000 gas station for this customer. That's the biggest gas station manager system in the world. I remember the deal has $4 million just for the software. So that's for one customer. Actually, that's the biggest software deal in China. But when we talk about SMB like small business, I found it's very different because they don't have enough resource. They even don't have enough technology background. So most of my customers, they don't know IT. They want to use IT. So I think this is the right time because of the AI. Before that, I don't have a good solution for them because I know IT is cost very high, so it's not easy to use that. But the AI revolution gave the chance. So that's why I set up this company. We provide the AI solution to different customers, start from zero. That means they can use this AI technology immediately to help their business. So our company will do that. We'll be the bridge to the high-tech technology like GPTZero and bring this high-tech to the normal life, to the small business. That's our target. So I think, yeah, let's do it.
Absolutely, you make it simpler. Yeah. You bring the AI technology into all these SMB users and simplify AI, right? Yeah. So now I have a question about, balancing innovation with market needs can be very challenging. So back to Alex, right? So as the co-founder and CTO, like how do you balance the drive for cutting-edge research and development with the unique needs and demands of the market, particularly in niche areas where AI can make a significant impact from your company?
Yeah, that's a great question. So I think one of the first things that motivated our product was the fact that everyone was talking about using AI, but very few companies were actually thinking about, what are the needs of the people who want to detect AI? And this is great for us because none of the other machine learning teams were working on this problem, which allowed us to go capture it, kind of become part of, when newspapers think about AI detection, that the first thing people thought of was GPTZero. And so I think going after that niche that other people in technology don't see is really important. Generally speaking, we're also a company that really relies on research. I think it's a great start, but being a researcher myself, I know that it doesn't give you the complete picture of what people need in the real world, right? We had to do a lot of things, talking to dozens of customers, making our software open actually, so that we could see who was coming to the platform and identifying those users, and then doing other sorts of experiments, such as painted doors or waitlists, to try to identify what people needed before we even built the product. Having done all that, we're able to figure out certain user needs. Okay, they need more explainable AI. They need more granular results. They want it to run it, on a large batch of documents at once. Simple things like that, you might not necessarily know you're being yourself as the founder, right? And so while we started with this initial vision, I think for us now, a lot of what drives us forward is kind of doing research that is targeted towards real customer problems. And sometimes even myself, I don't want to ask customers about a new product because I'm scared they're going to say, oh, they don't need it, right? But at the same time, that's so many businesses fail because they don't ask that question.
Absolutely. Thank you. I know that I subscribe your GPTZero, the true news versus the fake news.
Thank you.
Okay, great. So I know that Tim, you have, your firm has a very unique position because you have the connection between China, US, and Canada, right? So Dowill Holding leverage this expertise and network, right? So can you share some examples of how these international connections have provided unique advantages or resources to portfolio companies?
Thank you for the question. So we deployed some capital recently to AI startups. It's actually a text-to-video startups, and which is really similar to Sora and Pika, as most people know. And they kind of focus on application and use cases. I mean, Pika, Sora, they mostly invent their new model. So the key problem that they have is to how to secure their first clients, and it's the first several clients. Because my past experience was in the VR entertainment factory, so we have a close relationship with the most well-known platforms in China, ByteDance, Tencent, Xiaomi, iQIYI, all those platforms. Those companies really need those ads making softwares and also generate those videos. And we have close relationship to Pixar, Storyland, and Disney. So we kind of introduced those relationship to them already, and some of them actually became their clients initially, which is really useful for the company itself. I mean, they already have worked with Volkswagen, and there's one Korea comic company so already working with them. I think those kind of go-to-market strategy are really important. Unlike most other startups that mostly focus on reinventing the model before they actually go into clients. I mean, fast is the key, right? I mean, in terms of those things, I think. It's very similar in this field. It depends on how many clients you can secure. And that's why we invest in a future fund in Silicon Valley as well. They kind of adopt a similar strategy. So, but they mostly focus on enterprise and healthcare. So they already established a very mature network, collaborating with the top 500 companies in the world, and their CIOs, CTOs are in that network. Some of the companies they invest in already acquired or get their first clients from this tech network. For example, there's one female products company called Zelle. It's acquired by P&G. And they're the company called Dowill.ai. Their first clients is from Coal Industries, which is the leading private companies in US. So because of Fusion Network, we kind of adopt the same strategies. So we will work more in Canada in the future. Yeah, so kind of just collaborating the networks we have in US and China to help those startups in Canada. Yeah.
I know timing is everything, right? Yeah. So you're in the right spot. Okay, right. So back to Mr. Liu. I want to talk about tailoring AI, right? Tailoring AI solution to meet the niche market, right? That can be a challenge. So how does Next Inc. tailors its AI-driven solutions to meet the specific demands of the niche markets? And what challenges do you encounter to ensure that these solutions deliver maximum values to your clients? And how's the growth so far since the startup?
Yeah, that's a good question. First thing, I think everyone is different. Every business is different. For example, Mr. Zhang Jiawei, professor, we just made an AI assistant for him, and that's different. Some people said it's a chatbot, just a Q&A. It's different because we training the AI use Zhang Jiawei's knowledge, and the AI can answer the question, but it can also answer the related question and follow the customer, the user's idea. It's different. Because you ask the first question, the AI will provide the second and the third. And you can ask again. So that gives you a chance to know Professor Zhang Jiawei more effectively. Otherwise, sometimes you cannot get the point. because too many books read by Professor Zhang. So talk about the challenge. It's, to a start company, we face a big challenge. For example, our production, when we launch the production and show our production to our customers, they show a lot of interest into that. They like it. But question is, after that, what kind of business can bring to them? We must answer that. So we found the problem. That's recently we are facing. They have interest in, they think it's fun. They want to use it, they want to play with it, but they don't want to pay for it. So our next step is we're going to build we call it AI search engine. That means I think some of people should know that last November, GPT just announced GPT Builder. That means thousands of AI builder at one platform and resolve different problem. So our next production will be AI search engine. That means thousands of AI will hosted by our platform, and different people can ask the AI to solve different problem. That means we will get the traffic. The traffic will bring to the customer. When the traffic bring to the customer, they can generate the sales opportunity and the sales leads. That will help the business.
Yeah, absolutely. I think I just want to reiterate what Mr. Liu has mentioned. So I believe we have a lot of small business owners here, right? You probably want to have let's say, AI assistant. Right? If you are interested, make sure you talk to Mr. Liu. He can show you and get it up and running within a few days. That's how powerful and simpler that is. I've been using it, actually, and I'm very amazed that I can train the data at the back end. So I hope that's what, summarize what you want to say. So now we want to give every panelist a closing remark, want them to summarize, and then I have a question for Alex. I know you probably heard this, right? I'm sure you know. On July 18th, I saw the news about Apple Intelligence. Obviously, it's AI. Anyway, it's a joke. So they're working with ChatGPT and Google Gemini to offer AI on various Apple apps. Right? So my question is, do you see your company working with Apple in the near future? Or what are your key priorities for your company over the next few years?
Yeah, absolutely. So, we would hope to work with Apple, but for us, we still got to make sure we have a plan in case that doesn't work out. And so, for the next few years, we're trying to answer questions that we've kind of mined from our customers and from others about how can we determine quality and authenticity in the content we see? There are multiple times you face this problem in your day. You get a resume, you're trying to make a decision, should I hire this person? If you're trying to consider courses or books, you're trying to consider what should I pay my money for, what's worth my time. And this is becoming harder and harder as information, as people use more AI, and everything kind of blends together. And so we're trying to help people answer these questions by building ways for them to automatically and scalably be able to actually evaluate content and do so in a customizable way. For us, that's kind of the big picture view. Then in terms of my remaining remarks, I would say one of the biggest things I learned from starting this business is to just put something out there and let people see what you're building, let people try it out, because maybe it flops, or maybe you get 7 million views on Twitter, and you don't know until you actually try. As to that second point, I think I would recommend people really look into social media marketing and figure out how to create a story that other people think is worth discussing and sharing. Having done that, I think we just got millions and millions of dollars of free press by leaning into those current issues instead of trying to buy it on Google Ads, let's say. And so I think that's two big lessons I learned early on.
Thank you. Thank you very much for sharing the valuable information. So for you, Tim, what is your conclusion or your future vision that you want to share with the audience in 2 minutes?
I think right now there's too much capital in AI software. Okay, I have to be honest. Like recently, Sequoia and Goldman Sachs already published articles. There's just too much capital in AI softwares. So my ambition is like the integration between hardware and software. So I always talk to people about that. So I also talk with the secondary market friends down there in my table as well. So I think in the future, the hardware will be different. Like we normally think hardwares will be like capital heavy and require a lot of capital to build it, and company, it's hard for them to replace. But in the future, I think AI analytics inside the hardwares can actually streamline this process, and which help them to tell a diagnostic for those, if they're the manufacturer for the problems in outside areas. So that's what I mean, like edge computing. So I use that word. Like we think autonomous vehicle, some medical devices, and even VR, AR, those hardwares can all be edges. Like those edges can make decisions by themselves every day, and that can generate data, and which kind of alleviate the pressure in the cloud infrastructure. So this is something that I'm really bullish about for the AI future. Yeah.
Thank you, Raj. And what about you, Alex? In 2 minutes, when you talk about your company, your leadership, and because you have gained a lot of recognitions, and people are starting to pay attention to your app.
Yeah, I think my company's vision is use AI make your life better. I think in the future you can imagine when you ask AI what to eat, you don't to ask what you want to eat. Then AI will answer you, will suggest you. But it's not only that. After that, we will have the API to connect with the different systems, like the robot texting. So when you ask the question, the AI answer you, and you get the satisfied answer, then the AI will book the taxi for you. And when you go down your stair, you will see the taxi waiting for you. After that, you ask the AI what we want to play. Okay, AI will understand you. So everybody use the AI, make your life better. Thank you.
Thank you so much. Thank you. So as we conclude our panel discussions and on AI and tech innovation, I would like to extend my heartfelt gratitude to our panelists here today, and your valuable insights, expert knowledge, and engaging discussions have truly enlightened us and enriched our understanding of this ever-evolving field. You all have inspired us to explore new possibilities. Thank you so much for sharing your time and expertise with us today. So let's give a round of applause to these amazing panelists, please.
Thank you.
Thank you very much. I hope you have some time to get to know these panelists and ask them questions. Thank you.